channel. My name is Megan and I help agency owners scale their businesses. Today we're going to get into some more advanced cold emailing tactics because it absolutely can work for your business. I am living proof of that. All right, so finding success with cold emailing actually starts before we even talk about writing the email itself. I'm referring to who you're going to email. The tendency for people who are cold emailing is to find whatever email address they can get their hands on the easiest. So what they will typically do is go to a lead's website and pull whatever email address is available from there. The problem is that those email addresses are almost always something super generic like sales at, help at, info at, something like that. The person managing that inbox doesn't care about what you're trying to sell. In fact, part of their responsibility with that inbox is to weed out emails that look just like yours. You need the email address of a specific human being who works in your department. How do you get that? My first step is always to connect with the lead on LinkedIn, and once they accept my invite, I send them a DM and I just ask for their email address. Now in that case, we're not really talking about cold emailing, we're talking about warm emailing, but if you can't get a hold of them on LinkedIn, you do have a backup plan. There's this nifty little tool called hunter.io, and the way it works is you put in a company's domain name, their URL, and hunter.io is going to tell you what it thinks the structure of that company's email addresses is. For example, the employee's email addresses might be firstname@company.com or firstinitial.lastname@companyname.com. The tool bases this off of whatever information it can pull from the internet, so is it going to be 100% accurate? No. You might end up having to try a few different email addresses in case some of them bounce back. The point is, all you need is that person's name and the company's domain name, and Hunter will work its magic and tell you what it thinks that person's email address is. Like I said, your first attempt should be to connect with them on LinkedIn, but if you try that and it doesn't work, or they don't accept your invite, or they don't respond to your message, you can use a tool like hunter.io as a backup. There are a lot of other tools that do the same thing or something very similar, so that's something that you can play around with. Hunter is just my go-to. Next, let's get into the email itself. Now, I've already shared some of my best tips in this video, and I don't want to just regurgitate everything I already said, so I'm going to drop that link below, scroll down, and go watch that video. Instead, for now, I want to share the 3 biggest turnoffs that are going to absolutely kill your cold email response rate. Number 1 is a crappy subject line. Don't try to be fancy, don't try to be clickbaity, just be transparent. I talk about the best cold email subject line in this video, so I will drop that link below. The second biggest turnoff is a really long cold email. If the lead actually opens your email, yay. But if they open it and then they see something that looks like an epic novel, they're just going to trash it. Keep it short, get to the point, respect their time and their energy by only saying what you have to say. If you're not sure what to say, I have a whole guide that will give you my 5 proven cold email templates that you can just copy paste. I will drop that link below. And third, not personalizing the email. That is the third biggest turnoff. Anytime I get an email and it starts with, hey, hi, dear sir or madam, really? Like, you couldn't even take the time to figure out if I'm a sir or madam? I just delete it. If you can't be bothered to address someone by their first name, what are you even doing? Okay, so we talked about emailing the correct person and how to get their address, and we also talked about the 3 biggest cold emailing turnoffs and what you need to be doing instead. Next, let's talk about the cold email follow-up. In all likelihood, you will need to follow up because you will hardly ever hit a home run on your first try. That's okay. That's very normal. A lot of people ask me, what do I even say in the follow-up email? My answer is going to be surprisingly boring, okay? I want you to think about the goal of cold emailing in general, and the goal is to get a response, all right? Cold emailing is largely, not completely, but it's largely a numbers game. And if you ask me, I know some other people will tell you something different, that's okay. My opinion is that you just want a response. You're just trying to get them to engage with you. I know that if I can get their attention and I can get them engaging with me, I'm in really good shape. Because once we start the conversation and once they start getting to know me and I get to know them, we're going to be in a really good place because I know how to talk to people. So my suggestion to you is that your goal for a cold email should be get a response. Simple. Now, in the initial cold email, my call to action, my CTA, is almost always trying to get them on a phone call or a Zoom call. And that's because I know that being able to talk to them and having us hear each other's voices is going to make it a lot easier for me to convert them. But when I'm following up, I will tweak the CTA slightly. I will once again ask them for a quick call, but I will also say something like, or if email is easier, that's totally okay too. So what I'm saying to them is, hey, I'd still love to get on a call, but if you don't quite have time for that, I am more than happy to communicate over email. I am giving them options in the follow-up email. That's the first follow-up email. Now for the second follow-up email, which would be the third email total, for me, this is my last attempt. I don't follow up again. I don't send a fourth email. If I can't get a response out of them, if they can't be bothered to respond to me after 3 attempts, Godspeed. For that second follow-up, again, that's the third email total, I don't mention a phone call at all. I'll say something like, hey, if you're open to speaking further, I would still love to talk about your goals for your blog and how we might be able to work together. And I'm talking about blogging because I have a content agency. Now remember what I said, my goal is just to get a response. So you'll see that from email to email, I am asking less and less of them. In the first email, the initial cold email, I'm trying to get them on the phone or on a Zoom call. In the second email, I propose Zoom or email. And in the third email, I'm like, just respond, however you want to do it. Zoom, email, messenger pigeon, I don't care, smoke signals, I just want a response. So I'm making it as easy on them as possible. If you're still stuck in the mindset that cold emailing is totally a numbers game and all you're focused on is sending as many emails as possible, that is why it's not working. Is it partly a numbers game? Yes, but that doesn't mean that quality is irrelevant. Send a lot of cold emails, yes, but care about the quality. And if that means that you have to slow down and spend an extra minute on every email, do it. Because the return you're going to get on that investment of your time is going to be greater. If you spend an extra minute on all of your cold emails and end up closing more deals, isn't it worth it? I think so. If you feel stuck in the rat race and you know something is wrong, but you don't know what, don't try to reinvent the wheel, okay? Find someone who's already been where you're trying to go and copy their process. I teach agency owners how to scale their businesses by showing them the exact process that I've used to scale my own agency to almost $20,000 a month. If you're interested in learning what that process is, I'm dropping the link below so that you can learn more about my program, Revenue Spark, the Agency Accelerator. And if you think you might be interested in enrolling, you can book a call to speak directly with me more. That's all for today. I hope you found this helpful. If you made it this far, please give this video a thumbs up to support my channel. And if you have any questions, just drop them in a comment and I'll see you next time.